Hello guys, it's us again from Warhorse Studios. Hello IGN as well. I saw that you are restreaming, so thank you for that. And hello everyone. Hello chat. I hope you guys are as hyped as we are. And again, I'm not alone, and I'm very happy that I have qualified a co-host here, because I'm the one talking all the crap, and they are the one with the actual content, with the actual facts, and we will shoot one fact after the other today. Prokop Yersa, lead designer. Hi. Hello, thank you very much for coming. Maybe you guys have seen him already in the announcement video. Mm-hmm. Actually, it was shot, when was it? Like in January.
It was quite some time.
Yeah, it was. But it was really cool, you know, in this scene with the big in this church in Kutna Hora, and Prokop, equally as me, we are in the team already for over 10 years.
Yeah, it's going to be 11 years this December.
Yeah. Time flies, and we managed to release one
game in a decade. Yeah.
But there's a second coming very soon, and that's why we are here today. But Prokop was also the designer on the what? The music down. How can you guys say me that the music is too loud? Don't worry, I will put it a little bit quieter like this. But what I wanted to say is that Prokop, equally as we were working here for over 10 years already, and Prokop was a designer with Kingdom Come Deliverance 1, and now he's the lead designer, so overviews everything that's going on at Warhorse Studios, from the visual parts over to the content of the game, the characters, the dialogues, the quests, very important, of course. And today we will pretty much talk about this, about the little details, about what you like about the game,
and the features.
And the features. I mean, that is very important. We are playing today a build that eventually some of you have already seen on Gamescom live. However, don't worry, we will give the extended director's cut to it with the qualified comments from us. So we are going to the area of Troski, which is the second map the first map you will encounter in Kingdom Come Deliverance 1, but it's this one of two maps that you will, not Kingdom Come 2, of course. So it's one of the two maps that you will encounter in the game, and you, Henry and Hans, you will actually, start on this place. Before we continue, or before we actually go into the game, I would like to a word from our sponsor, which is ourselves, of course. So let me show you one thing, guys, and that is you can still, of course, pre-order the game. Everyone should pre-order the game by now. If not, shame on you. But there is still, if you scroll down, we are on kingdomcomerpg.com on our homepage. Very nice. Oh, look, join the community. Oh, media, news, oh, wonderful. But what you want is the game editions, and then you want the collector's edition, and you can still get it. But, and that's the sad part, the only place you can actually get it is the United States, from GameStop, for instance, where you can get it on PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series. So feel free, if you don't got your hands on it yet, feel free to get it now. I think it's really, really nice, really great. As a matter of fact, it is right under my arm, down there. There's the collector's edition. Very nice, very fancy. And another part of the collector's edition is there on the right side, right? This guy, Henry on a horse. That is something every real gamer should absolutely get that, right? So. And of course, last but not least, I just want to really quickly thank you, MSI, for this wonderful PC here. See that? Oh, very good, very fancy. That's the power of the stream today. Okie dokie. So, let's slowly but steadily go into the game. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to shoot, not at us, but into the chat, write everything down. I will really try super hard to read everything. However, I'm not a pro streamer. I'm a pro talker, but not a pro reader. I will try and read everything and try to answer as much as possible. But enough talking, let's go into the game. The beginning will have a few, let's say, cutscenes, scenes, which we will start. We will not talk about over them, but after Henry wakes up, you will see that, then we will.
Yeah, and maybe just an addition, there will be very little, but there will be very little spoilers. We'll choose a quest that's at the beginning of the game. I think it's very, very little spoilers, but there are some. So
I mean, it's a main quest. I can tell you already, this is main quest M02. So it's the second main quest of the game. Yeah, so, and it's a main quest, and main quests are tiny little spoilery, but we tried very hard to like minimize it. So
yeah, choose the scenes that are pretty safe to see even before you actually play the game.
Absolutely. Okie dokie. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will now change the scene and then see you on the other side. So, see you in a second.
Hold on. Hold on. Wait.
Pavlena, is it you?
Greetings, good wife. Fear not. We mean you no harm. My friend needs help. Please.
Right. Let's have a look at you. It's all right.
My parents, that was just a dream, Henry. We're in the woods. We were ambushed, but don't worry. We'll get you fixed up right as rain.
Now I've got you, whore sons.
Think again, strong.
Hey, lad. Are you alive, lad?
I've come from Skalitz. They burned it to the ground. Slaughtered everyone. Who? Who burned it to the
A
ground?
huge army. They attacked without warning.
Get all the people inside the gates. We have to prepare for the worst. Make all the necessary arrangements.
I am Sir Marquardt von Aulitz. I come in the name of Sigismund of Luxembourg, King of Hungary and Croatia.
Get up now. There's work to be done.
Mother?
I ain't your ma, laddie. Oh, may all the saints be praised. I was afraid you'd never wake up again.
What? Where am I?
Where would you be? Here in my cabin, where you and that pal of yours burst in last night. Slowly, lad. Slowly.
What happened? What about Hans?
He's taken care of for now, but he was on the edge there for a bit. And so were you, lad, so calm yourself. Last night you were 1 foot in the grave already. You were lucky you happened to turn up here.
Well, I have to talk to Hans.
You won't get much out of him now. He's lost a lot of blood and he has a fever.
What happened to him?
That cutthroat that followed you fellas cut him up bad. Hans was fighting him outside, then he came staggering in, said something about Fortuna, and collapsed on the floor.
And what about that cutthroat?
You can go out and have a look at him. Hans gave him a right hammering. I didn't get a wink of sleep with that corpse in my yard.
I understand. I'm sorry we caused you such trouble. But you'll save Hans, won't you?
God willing. Well, I managed to pull you out of death's grip, so maybe I'll be blessed again. I'll go check on him as soon as I'm done with you. How are you feeling?
There's no part of me that doesn't hurt. Inside and out. Mostly my shoulder where I took an arrow.
Little wonder then. But you're conscious and talking. That's a good sign. Ah, your shoulder is looking a lot better. I did my best, but I don't see good no more, especially at night. So I didn't do the best job. It just wouldn't stop bleeding. And now you've moved about, it started up again. Take this and bandage it up. Not much else we can do with it now.
Thanks. I reckon I can manage that. But I need to get a breath of fresh air to clear my head.
You slept through half of God's bright day, lad. So, if you feel up to it, go ahead. At least we'll see how steady you are on your feet. While you're at it, you can stop by the trough and wash all that nasty grime off of yourself. I found an old tunic. Put it on so you don't catch a chill. It gets cold here by the water. No doubt you'll be famished and need a bite to eat. There's some hot soup in the pot on the fire. If that ain't enough, I put some bread and cheese on the table outside for you. And you'll find some of our home-brewed liquor there, too, in case you need bucking up. Don't overdo it, though.
I won't. Thanks a lot. May God reward you 1,000-fold. What's your name, by the way?
Bushena's my name.
Well, I'm Henry.
I know. Hans told me. I'll go and check on him. When you're done with everything, come and see me and we'll figure out what to do next.
Okay, so we saw the little intro scene, and now Prokop will tell us about how we actually continue from KCD1 to KCD2 and what these strange red...
I think most of you recognize that there were some flashbacks to KCD1. So this is actually not the first quest you will encounter in KCD2. This is like a few moments later. So we are really trying hard to make you feel at home, even if you didn't play the first game. It's completely fine to go into the KCD2 just blind. And we're trying to like slowly here and there to tell you some facts and what happened in KCD1, so you don't feel overwhelmed at the beginning. So there's some good gameplay chunk first, so you feel right at home. And basically, what you see now on the screen is another thing we were really like, thinking about how to do and what to do with RPG in general in KCD2. And what he decided upon is that we didn't want to reset your Henry completely. So there will be...
Reset your Henry.
So we really just something happened. You kind of could guess what happened. So your stats will be lowered, but you will still have your preferences, and you would be able to have a different Henry even at the beginning of the game. And we also raised the max level considerably. So, you were really good at, the Ratai region in KCD1, but now you are a way bigger regions. There's a more important region with much better fighters. So you can achieve even more levels and perks. And actually, all of the perks are new and they're much more impactful actually.
I sometimes compare it like Henry in KCD1. I mean, most of the time when he was dealing with problems, it was like either some bandits in the forest or some like lower nobility or something like that. And I sometimes say that Henry in KCD1 was something like the champion of the Sunday League. And now in KCD2, he's invited to play in the Premier League. So he knows how to play football. However, the challenges are bigger, the enemies are harder, and now in KCD2 you are being dragged among armies, and there will be kings involved, and the drama and the emperors even. Yeah, so the whole setting, the stages are higher. There's more on stake. And I think that is quite interesting. And for those who didn't recognize the first scenes, the red thing, right? That was exactly as Prokop said. That was something like flashbacks. So it was actually actual scenes from KCD1. And this is the way how we try to implement it. So we never like fist in your face. Watch this video for 20 minutes and then you can start to play the game. No. The way how we think about it is, as Prokop explained already slightly, while you are playing the game, slowly but steadily, we will give you the bare necessary information. This is you, that's your friend, that's a letter, you have to bring it to that castle. This happened. Good luck, have fun. And that is pretty much everything that is important for you. Other than that, it's really the open... Bohemia 1403, the open world is waiting for you and you can just freely roam.
And a lot of that is actually optional. If you want to delve deep, you can ask people what happened, their opinion about that, but you don't have to. You can just, rush right through what you love about the game, and if it's just, wandering around and killing bandits, good for you.
Talking about stats, so let me go through this quickly. Game saved, and let's open up first of all. Look at this wonderful hut we are in here. It's a herb woman's hut, which we can obviously see here, and she's a fan of smoked chicken, I guess. But let's open the inventory real quick, and since we are here already, let's check some of the stats. It's the one that these are pretty much the ones you already know from Kingdom Come Deliverance 1, but you can see that there are already some levels attached to them. And we can also see here in the skills that Henry knows already something, but as Prokop said, we have to hone his skills now even further, right?
As you can see, there's some of the skills are completely new. There's 9 general skills. There's then 6 combat skills. You can see, for example, maybe a little tidbit, pole arms are now a completely usable weapons. You can stash them in your inventory. You can change to you can just pick up a pole arm in the middle of the combat, which with its own perks and everything, the same as the marksmanship. It now has all the perks and everything, way more than in KCD1 and definitely more impactful.
Yeah, and one common question we get quite often is like, how does it behave with the combat? And of course here, if you check, Henry, of course, is able to use a few tricks already. Riposte, perfect block, feint, evade. So the combat got an overhaul, of course. So it plays different, it feels different, while it stays very true to its nature. I think for KCD1 lovers, they will feel right at home, but meanwhile we are trying to make it a little bit more like accessible, maybe, while not dumping it down. However, since, as I said, Henry already got his fair share of combat in KCD1, he of course needs to know the bare minimum. However, he will of course hone his skills even further. And then we have also the combos, of course. So for the different weapons. And there's even one of my favorite ones. I mentioned that already in the first stream, but even unarmed combat get an overhaul. So you can actually, with a few tricks and combos, you can disarm your opponent, which is pretty cool. And which is nice. And
you can actually, there's like you can go to the clinch and to like basically a brawl, and you can also, like, if you're good enough, you can just from the unarmed combat, you can go immediately to stealth skill. So it's hard, but it's doable.
Okay, but we are still bleeding and we stink. So
you are a hungry boy.
And hungry Henry, of course. Yeah, stamina is decreased. I can't do anything with the reekiness right now. We can wash ourselves, but not while sitting on the bed. However, if going to the inventory and taking some bandages, I will of course be able to at least take care of my wounds. That's done, and to not run around naked, I will put on this wonderful short tunic. And
What a nice looking boy.
What a nice looking boy, exactly. Yeah, isn't that beautiful? I think our environment and graphic designers are really did the extra miles again. And today will be more of a hiking trip. As I said, we are going through the countryside of Trotsky Castle. But first, we are hungry and we have to get up. And hungry Henry needs to eat something.
Yay.
So,
Food on the spoon.
Food on the spoon. That is actually something that you were fighting for a lot.
Yeah, it's just such a tiny thing, but the level of polish in the game is just the sum of these tiny things that, and hopefully we did a lot of them. So yeah.
Yeah, I think generally the KCD it's a lot about the details, and I know that many gamers probably won't nerd about the fact that there's food on the spoon, but still for us that's a huge thing. And again, it all plays into this immersion thing, because at the end we are trying very hard to have KCD, or to make KCD one of the most, maybe the most immersive video game there is out there. So and again, it's the tiny thing. Actually, if you don't realize that something is wrong, and you don't realize anything pretty much, then that's mission accomplished, because if you feel it at home, then that's exactly what we are trying to.
And as we were saying, there's a lot of like little things you can do, even like a feature-wise, but we are not trying to pressure you into doing that. There's like ton of mini games and ton of gameplay styles and everything, but we're completely fine. We don't want to like force you into anything. The game is full of things and activities you can do, but if you want, that's fine. Just enjoy your gameplay style. There's many of those.
And again, a little disclaimer. So this build is a tiny little bit older, but not too old, so don't worry. However, where we are right now in development is that we are in a very, very heavy polish and bug fixing stage. So you will encounter probably a few visual bugs here and there, but I personally am extremely, extremely happy with how the game develops and how in what a wonderful state it is right now. So just so you know that there will be eventually some wonkiness here and there, but I think that shouldn't hinder us from enjoying this wonderful piece. So let's continue a tiny little bit with the quest. So Hans is here on the ground. Bojana wants us to wash ourselves and eat something. That is what we did. But we will check on our friend Hans.
Can you hear me, friend? Christ. In the end, you bore the brunt for both of us. May all the saints watch over you. And over Bojana, too.
And sometimes Henry is even a faithful Christian.
And the Holy Virgin and all. Better pray you have
pray for him. It might help him.
Maybe. Everything that helps our best friend here.
Yeah. There's actually, here it's just a quest thing, but there's actually places in the map that you can pray in, and there's a specific perk, I think it's scholarship skill, that will give you like boosts for a day or two when you're a good Christian.
Henry has some dirty nails. We need to wash ourselves. Absolutely.
You should. It's a shame.
Shameful.
Yeah.
Shameful, Henry.
Amen.
And it actually lowers your stats. It lowers your charisma. When you're dirty, it's harder to persuade people. So yeah, definitely do that.
Like in real life. Dirty nails, guys out there.
Yeah.
Cut your nails, please.
Do something.
Do something. Okay, let's rob her clean first.
Yeah.
Of course.
Like classic RPG players. Steal everything.
That looks so good. I mean, I'm here getting crazy about our own game, but dude, I think the difference between KCD1 and KCD2 is really, really huge. And sometimes it doesn't look like that. If you look at this right now and say, hey, this looks a lot like KCD1, try and compare them one-to-one in some videos. You will see that it's like so differently, and your memory might deceive you a tiny little bit, but we went. Look at that. So she has her hut here in this sandstone rock.
And you will see
carved.
more of that outside, but let's see if you will steal other... of course you will.
Of
I know
course.
you, Toby.
Of course. I don't even bother to go into stealth. Oh, maybe I should, just in case. So, what do we have here? Piercing arrows. Give it to me. I like a lot this new thing that you have the... not only the name of the item, but also the value and everything. That's
You can check the stats and just decide if it's like good enough to pick even.
Of course.
You
everything.
will. I know you will pick everything.
I will
you will just
take everything that isn't nailed to the ground. So
you don't have lockpicks, man. You can't steal this yet. You'll have to come back later.
Lucky you. So okay, what's else here? Look at this here, tailor kit.
Yeah, and you can actually maybe let's wait a little bit later, but you can use it in this quest.
Oh. So let's use it then. Okay. No more stealth mode. Thank you, Bojena, for patching us up, and I stole everything you had. So, let's go outside and check
man.
this. So,
I really like this scene.
Yeah. So from the little cutscene we saw in the beginning, we saw that guy here. I hope the dog is not eating him, just sniffing. But this is the dude that that was following Henry and Hans to this place, and Hans was fighting him, but got terribly wounded, as you could see.
But he did kill him.
But he did kill this particular fellow, and I will. Oh, look, there's a little piggy there.
Yeah, it's hers.
Wonderful.
It's boar.
Yeah. But first of all, for those out there who don't know, this is a floppy disk, and floppy disk is something that I was sharing in school back in the days, with funny stuff on it. But for us, it's the Savior Schnapps, which we will use. That's a very common question, by the way, the saving. We want to talk about that
for
a second?
It's you can actually use it right now, or maybe wash yourself first.
Okay.
You don't want to have save when you're dirty.
Sure.
But and you can, even this is like little, it's actually nice.
Yeah, and the hands are clean now.
Yeah.
So are his nails.
So you can save your game now, I'd say. Yeah. So the system is very similar to what we had in KCD1, meaning there's autosaves in quests. There's actually quite a lot more in KCD2 than it was in KCD1. So you should be pretty safe even when you don't use the Savior Schnapps. But we still want to, the immersion is so important for us that we want you to, when you're trying, deciding, should I try to rob this place or should I attack this bandit camp? There should be always some element of fear or decision making, because you can't just abuse saving mechanism. There's no quick save. So if you want to just try something, you'll have to use the Savior Schnapps, and you will have to either find it or brew it in alchemy or buy it.
But you get tipsy from it.
Yes.
So
yes.
Here you go, drunkenness.
And it's another thing, it shows the depth of our systems. Even just a simple mechanic as a drunkenness, there's associated skill with drunkenness, and there's perks. It can help you in various situations, but be careful. It's not good to drink too much, because there's a positive state of drunkenness. There's a negative state of drunkenness.
There's a negative state of drunkenness. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Never heard of
you don't
that.
remember your negative states. I do remember them.
Okay.
But there's also hangovers, and you can also get addicted to alcohol. And also there's maybe just a little tiny thing, but it really, I think it shows how deep the game is. If you get really drunk, you'll pass out.
Oy, oy.
And if you pass out somewhere where people don't like you,
Oy, oy.
they might steal your stuff. So if you wake up, and they will actually wear them. You might wake up and see some guy wearing your, hat or boots or something like that.
It's like in this movie, I don't know how it's called in English, Prince from Zamunda or something, and they're coming to the United States and got robbed and everything, and the other day they find the guys outside trying to sell their...
Yeah, I think I saw that. Yeah.
Okay, we washed ourselves and we ate something.
And you didn't faint while doing it. I'm pleased, Henry. I had to pour a whole Lethean potion into you last night. That's what I call medicine. It can either put a dead man back on his feet or make sure he never gets up again. So consider yourself lucky.
I will. But what about Capon?
Well, he's less lucky. That brute really knocked him about before Hans beat the life out of him.
Is there any way I can help? I owe it to Capon, and I want to do whatever
Show
I
yourself
can.
to Bojana. Here I am, Bojana.
All right. I've got a bit of that Lethean potion.
Actually, the
ready.
Lethean potion is a
Work
potion from
wonders on him,
KCD1.
same
It's
as
in
on you.
KCD2 as
But
well,
I
and it
can't just
resets
give it
your
to him
perks if you
now.
want to like change your.
First, we have to
it's
deal
like the
with
little
that fever.
inside
the
joke.
best and fastest remedy for that is chamomile decoction. Luckily, it ain't too hard to brew, but we'll need some fresh sage for it. And, of course, chamomile. You ought to be able to manage that. You've got young legs and eyes, and I reckon a bit of a stroll would do you good.
Easy as pie. I can do that. Sage has a purple blossom, and chamomile has white petals with a yellow center. Both of them grow in sunny places. There are sandstone cliffs around here. The soil underneath might suit them.
Good lad. You really do know a thing or two. I'd never have guessed. At the back of the hut, there's a footpath leading up to the rocks. You go along there till you reach a sort of small meadow. You ought to find both of them there.
Great. I'll be back in a jiffy with a couple of handfuls.
All right. I'll be glad if you get back here soon. I don't feel right being here with that corpse in my yard. Seeing him lying there gives me chills. I can't think straight.
I understand. It makes me anxious too.
So she wants us to
Maybe
bury
I
that
could
dead
manage to
guy,
bury him somewhere.
but
Or at least
we
hide
won't.
him somewhere further off in the woods.
we tell you why
Oh,
later.
Lord
Yeah,
be praised.
soon.
Soon.
I'm truly glad of that.
And I
You
see
feel
some
up to it,
people
laddie.
in the chat were
You
like
ain't in the
mentioning
best
our
of
facial
shape,
animations, and I
and
think
digging a
yeah,
grave's a tough
a lot of work
job,
were
even
put
for a
into
healthy
them. So
fella.
I really feel they're way better, obviously than in KCD1.
Not to
But
worry.
also, if you saw some
I'll
of
see
the
what I
older
can manage.
builds on Gamescom or
It's on
anywhere, I
account of
think
us that
even
he's
in the
here
last
anyway.
push
I wouldn't want you to have
really
any more
polish the
trouble.
game, they got improved as well.
And a bit of effort, even if it's a dirty job, is the least I owe you.
Well, if you think you can manage it, good. But don't overstrain yourself. And thanks.
Where should I put him?
Grab the spade by the dung pile and bury him by the creek. The soil will be softer there, so it should be easier. When you head out the gate, follow your nose. Find a good spot somewhere in the reeds and nettles. And when you're done with that, better have a wash, so's you don't have the stench of death on you.
True.
The stench of death.
Bear that in mind.
I'll sort out the rest with Ignatius, the gravedigger, when he comes by again, so's I don't have that wretch lying here till Judgment Day.
All right. I'll get to it. Oh, so
You're going
hungry
to
I could
need
eat a
all the
horse.
saints watching over you.
He's hungry again. Henry is a hungry boy,
Of course. I have just the right idea.
and I think I know what you want to do.
So, chicky, 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 chicky.
Yeah, there's a
Chicken.
boar, but I don't think you can kill him now. You'll have to find the chickens, but they will be here like
Chicky,
later
chicky,
on.
chicky, chicky. Lucky them. Anyway, the facial animations.
Yeah, I think they're pretty good now.
Yeah, I'm also a big fan, not only of the animation, but also of the entire look of Bojana. I think she looks just like
Yeah.
a very friendly, very nice granny. But yeah, so she wanted us to get rid of this fellow here, which we will not do at this moment, and we will tell you later why. So let's continue with the little quest. So she sent us to go up here to pick a few flowers. So let's check where we are actually, right? At the first map, as I told you. So this is the, let's say, smaller map of the two that we have prepared for KCD 2. And it's a more, let's say, countryside map. We will show you a little bit further later, I mean. But right now we are here. Take the spade. I don't want to do that yet. But pick chamomile and sage.
Yes. And as you can see, actually, the first map is really, I really like that there's like a different biomes. So there you have the lakes and ponds, you have the sandstone, rocks, formations, you have vast farms. It's like a really deep forest. So I really like there's like an opportunity to hide all those little secrets all over the map, or quests, or interesting people to talk to.
different biomes. So we have a mountain map and a snow map. And
no. This is still in Bohemia. So, but and as you can see, I am really proud about the forests we can make. And this is not a deep forest. This is like close to the Bozena, so it's not really a deep forest, but it looks
I like also
so
the
good.
Verticality, right? That it's not only like flat place, but that it really goes steep uphill, and that there's really quite some stuff. And again, we took a lot of inspiration, of course, of the real area. So these places really exist. I'm not sure if Bozena still has a hut down there, but theoretically you can try and find this place in real life, and that's, I think, quite interesting. Did you see him?
Rabbit, yes.
Lucky him, I don't have a bow. I would miss him anyway, but I can
You
throw.
can try, but I don't think you can kill him with a stone, but you will never hit him. Yeah.
Come on. Oh god, I can already see Peter reacting tomorrow. Warhorse attacking,
it's
throwing
actually
stones.
new mechanic in KCD2, and it's obviously most useful in stealth to lure people away. But you're evil, man. You want to hit him with a stone, don't you?
I'm so bad.
I think he'll hear you when you're close. Yeah. But we really liked it, and we really wanted to allow Henry to do it even when he's not near enemies. So there's like complete variants of barks and like these little sayings, or even a crime when you're like hitting somebody with a rock throw. And it's really funny, actually. They talk to you like you're just some, what the hell you're doing.
That's what I liked a lot on KCD1 already, that when you were crouching around the city somewhere, they were asking you, like, do you have to go to the toilet or something? Is something wrong with you? So it's like the world is really reacting to you, and I think that is, again, defines Kingdom Come Deliverance a lot, that whatever you do in the game will have an impact, and that's what we are trying to show you a little bit today as well, that sometimes the decisions you do and sometimes the stuff you decide can be really tiny, just some different dialogues or whatever, but sometimes it can really have also bigger impacts, and in the worst case it can even lead to death of certain characters.
Yes.
So that is really big, but I strongly believe, and that is the underlying thing and very important for you to understand, there is no real right and wrong. So I strongly believe that even if, let's say, you decide somehow that someone dies or whatever, that's not a wrong decision or a bad decision per se. It's just the way how you tell your story, or how you, Henry, goes through this, part of
choices
history.
And consequences. We really, especially as designers, we really like those old school RPGs when you can really do anything you want. There's a lot of decisions, a lot of consequences, and a lot of approaches to every situation. This is actually, it's just such a little thing, but it's quite interesting. This is like a little pagan thing, but obviously Bohemia in the 15th century was already heavily Christianized. But many times people think that when somebody is Christianized, when a country is Christianized, suddenly everything that was before is forgotten and everybody is like the Christian as we know them today. And it's not true. Actually, the Christianization was like a process that took a long time, and also those like cultures mixed together. So even people in these ages would think about themselves as Christians, but they would still have these superstitions, and they would like kind of mix the beliefs of Christianity back to some rituals they did. They will use like parts of Christianity, and also they would carry some paganism with them into Christianity. And it's like a mixture. It's very, very interesting topic. There's some of that in game, but it's also like, you can spend hours on Wikipedia to learn about it, or even in much more,
All this talks about Christianity made me tired, so
let's go back. Sorry, I'm lover of history, so
barefoot.
It's important.
But
to me
look
to
at
have it
that
correctly.
there.
Yes.
The magic, the wizard tower.
Yes. Well, almost.
Almost.
This is actually Trotsky Castle. It's in the middle of the Trotsky region. Not very surprising. And I will not give you any spoilers, but very important things for the story will happen there. And basically, for a big part of the story, you're trying to get there. And the castle is on a hill, obviously. It's like the smart thing to do. And you can actually see it from every part of the map. So it's kind of taunts you, and you will have to overcome it and get there.
And for those who played KC1 and or saw the end of KCD1, then your initial quest is, or the KCD1 ended in a way that the lords were sitting together writing that letter that you and Hans and his entourage of soldiers were supposed to bring to that castle up there. But how we ended up here in this hut in this forest and not in this castle, that is something that you will then experience in the game. But it's quite dramatic, and I think it will be.
And it's a real thing. It's a real castle. You can still go there even now. It's it's not in a good shape. It's like it's a ruin now, or partly it's ruined, but it's especially nice place. Really, if you're ever in Czech Republic, go there. It's an amazing place.
Okay. I was there. As a matter of fact, Trotsky is a Czech a regular word, and Trotsky means ruins. Really, translation 1-to-1. Sad part about that the castle is actually ruins. They are ruins right now. So,
but actually, the name was still in place in 15th century, even when the castle was brand new. So it's kind of this little mystery why they called it like that.
And a little side note information for you guys. So Trotsky Castle was finished by the end of the 14th century, so 1390 whatever.
It's really new.
And the game takes place in 1403. So you will have the chance to see a brand new castle in its full pride, up and ready for you to explore. So,
what's happening?
What's happening? The dog is making a fuss. The chickens arrived as well. Good for me. And we will go into stealth mode again. We have to see a little bit what's going on there.
Yeah.
And before, okay, there's some baddies, right? We can see them there already. Get a hold of a weapon. Or we see already the rabbit up there, so they are slightly hearing us. We have to equip the weapon just in case, you never know. And then I will go here, and they will say, what? There's the piece of shit, and he's immediately attacking us.
You're done for.
Am I? Okay, show me.
Fuck this.
Yeah, you hit his head, but now his friend.
No.
You're fucked.
Oh.
Yeah.
I have died in combat.
You did.
So, why did that happen? First of all, because I'm an idiot and I turned my back towards the enemy.
Not a smart thing to do.
Not a smart thing to do. You shouldn't. So, lessons learned, guys, right? The more you know. And but what happened actually? So, one thing you hopefully noticed is that they immediately attacked us, right? Yeah. So why is that? So those dudes were apparently looking for us, for someone. We don't know that, I tell you already. And they saw their dead friend on that pile that we... our task was to bury him. We said, screw you, we won't. And they saw him and put one and one together and immediately attacked us.
Yeah, okay. They knew somebody was hiding there. They knew somebody killed their friend, so they attacked you immediately. So these are like, there's obviously in the game, there's like a really big choices and content, like them from other games, big story-making events. But there are also these little things. There are very little things that you don't even know you're making a little choice, but it is there. The game is very reactive to what you're doing.
Absolutely. And because of that, I would like to try again and see what happens if we play everything a tiny little bit different.
You have to talk to her first. Yeah.
I'm stupid. I should have made the save after I talked to Bozhena. So let me just skip through that. So we have this quickly. She says the same thing as before. After all, it's the same situation as we saw before. By the way, we didn't mention this earlier. Yeah. Sometimes, and that was already the part in KCD1, but maybe you want to say something about this. Sometimes the perks or the skills that you learn will help you in some dialogues and unlock some special...
Yeah. We actually do have some skills that are especially used in dialogues, a lot of like kind of persuasion or impression or intimidation and stuff like that. But we also want to use your regular skills in dialogues. So sometimes, for example, when she's asking you whether you know something about alchemy, you can use the skill, and sometimes it gives you like a new option, sometimes it just gives you some new items, or just a reputation like you just did with Bozhena. She really appreciates that you know something about alchemy.
Mm-hmm.
The chicks are there.
But here's you can see the reputation we mentioned earlier.
Actually, the reputation system, maybe I can give you a little explanation. It also got pretty overhauled in KCD2. So you have a reputation with like specific types of people or some like regions, but now there's a whole thing about how the reputation distributes. So for example, if you have like one house when the owner hates somebody else, if you do you're trying to kill the chicken, sorry. But what I was just trying to say is that the reputation now like is slowly distributed about to other factions if they know each other. And sometimes when you do something bad to somebody else might actually appreciate it.
Do you think Božena appreciates that I punched her chicken into
I think she doesn't, but
abyss?
she didn't see you. So
Yeah.
you're lucky.
And now,
Maybe just show the chicken first. Maybe
wait a second. Show the chicken first, of course. Chicken.
it's the Y to show the
Yeah.
info.
There you go.
Yeah, you can see even just plain food in our game. There's so many stats. If you want to, you can really delve deep into everything. You don't have to. The game you kind of understand everything, even if you don't want to really study the systems. But if you want to, and you can check right here, the nourishment is 10.
Yeah.
So cook
and
it.
after my 5-finger death punch, I cookie. There you go. Yum yum yum. Yummy. Yes.
Yes.
Cooked chicken. Where is it? I want it. Give me the chicken. There you go. Up.
With left?
Yes.
And you can see you actually improve the chicken by cooking it, which is like obvious thing to do. But you can cook food, you can dry it, you can smoke it. For example, I especially recommend drying your food because especially at the beginning you will have some trouble with limited inventory. So drying food makes it lighter. So I suggest doing
Plus,
that.
food can spoil, and dried and smoked and so on will, of course.
It will last way longer.
So, back to Dead Bastard.
Yeah. Weird.
So, Dead Bastard. First of all, give me your sword. That's always good. And now, looten und leveln, because that's the best thing you can do. Give me all your crap.
And as you can see, we are so used to it, but actually in KCD, everything you see on any NPC is actually on him. So you can always loot anything that's on him. He really changes because you loot his clothes. So yeah, he's now naked, Dead Bastard.
I cannot loot his undies.
Yeah.
So I took the spade, ace of spades, and now we are taking this body and do what we were told, and that is to go and bury him in the forest. He's pretty heavy, so I can't sprint with him. That's the fastest I can do. The little boar is checking us out suspiciously. I don't like that look in his eyes. It's fierce. Let's rather continue. And we have to go now in this like little swampy area kinda and try and bury that naked bastard. Oh look, the piggy is following us.
I think he's like fleeing you actually.
No,
you might be too stinky for him.
No, he wants to create a friendship.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good point. I might be so stinky that he want to be. He smells us and says, "Family, isn't it great to come home?" So you go here.
I think you need to bring him closer.
Do I? No, I don't. I know. So as a matter of fact, let me show it for you guys. I know where to dig, but if you wouldn't, as you can see on the top of the compass, it tells you that somewhere here in this region, which is now I'm covering it unfortunately with this little thing, we have to bury the corpse. So we drop him here, wherever. Have to find, with our nose in the dirt, start digging. There you go. And Henry is doing his job.
Yeah. And actually, this will make you dirty again. We listen
dirty Henry.
We actually listen to feedback, so you are like now gain like the dirtiness slower in the open world, but specific interaction with the world will make you dirty very fast. For example, digging graves.
So I can drop him in there, right?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, isn't ragdoll an amazing thing?
Yeah, always.
Go in. Come on, put your legs in there. A little bit more. Oh no! Oh god, oh no.
I think you can bury him even like this.
Up. Yeah, I think that's good enough, right?
He doesn't deserve anything better.
Good enough.
He tried to attack Hans.
Yeah, he's like an upside down popsicle right now. So, after quite a bit of time, look, and even we cut off his limbs, and the rest is old story. But before we go that way, let's go that way, because let's try and get a tiny little bit closer to Trusky Castle. We can't go too close. The quest requires you to stay here around him, so there's a natural barrier that will tell you, oh, I shouldn't go, and let me just check in which direction. Oh,
Yeah, you're in the right direction.
Yeah.
Just follow the stream.
So follow the stream.
And as you can see now, as I was talking about the biomes, obviously you will not go to the deserts and stuff like that. But you can see you're getting closer to the pond, to the little lake. So everything is getting a little more swampier. Yeah, different herbs and different trees are actually growing here, and everything, every tree, every bush, everything you see are real, flora that actually exists, that actually grows in these places, and it's mapped so meticulously that even if you would be like a botanist, you would probably recognize a lot of them.
There was a ornithologist reaching out to us not long ago, complaining that we have I forgot the name of that, like some DAOs or something in KCD1, because our sound engineers actually, when he goes into the forest to get the sounds right, he's of course taking 25th century, the 21st century sounds, and not 1403 sounds. So
and there were some invasive species of birds that actually weren't there in the 15th century. So we had to and we actually like this kind of feedback, because this is the thing we
of course
love.
We absolutely love that. We love to talk to those people, laugh about it together, and it's just amazing. You know what's also amazing? This view. Oh my goodness. Look at this. It's maybe too good to have our faces there. So let me just put us away for a second. So, isn't that great?
Yeah. I really like, and there's these little nooks and crannies in around the pond that you can find interesting things and points of interest, and it's really, really nice.
And now, Prokop, the chat is asking, can Henry swim? Do you think we should debunk this? Crush their dreams?
Not really. Actually, at the beginning of the game, Henry will be forced to swim in a very a story moment, and it will go so horribly that he will swear he will never swim again. So sorry, you can't just freely swim anywhere.
Hungry Henry unfortunately cannot swim, guys. Crushed dreams.
Actually, later on, there's one quest when he'll be so drunk that he will swim again, and it will once again end horribly.
There you go. Is he swimming in a bathhouse?
You can consider it swimming, yeah.
Okay. There was actually also some wildlife here, so if you're lucky, then you can find crabs and little animals here as well that you can pick up and eat, right?
Yeah. And you can, once again, cook them, smoke them. So there's there's quite a big variety of animals now, and also very nice new animations of all those animals. So you really feel when you actually met a deer in there, and you saw that he could turn pretty smoothly and everything. The level of polish in everything. The KCD2 is the game we really wanted to make. KCD1 was I loved the game, and I spent 6 years on the game, but I loved the game. But we were really trying something that was little above our capability. And now this game is the thing we wanted to make, and we hope that we really honestly hope that in the end you'll appreciate it.
Do you think I should show the community, the chat, what they can also do if they're at beautiful places like this?
Yeah, sure.
But that's kind of a spoiler.
It's not a spoiler. It's a little feature.
It's a little feature, but it's kind of a spoiler. Guys, do you want a tiny little spoiler? Like a tiny one. It's not a story spoiler.
They know already.
They know. It's not peeing. That would be very funny. But it's actually finally we have a photo mode in the game, right? So you can watch wonderful Henry staring into distance, but also you can whoop and hide the hints, and you can do the most wonderful
nice
screenshots you want to do. The camera is tied to Henry, so you cannot fly extremely far away. It's also physical, so you cannot go through walls or something
Yes,
like that.
yes.
But there's a tiny gimmick.
Yeah.
Which,
There's a story
yeah.
about it. Try to end the photo mode.
And the photo mode. Guys, take care. What's happening now?
What a view!
Yeah. When the photo mode ends, Henry will comment on what you did in the photo mode. Well, it's a generic. He will basically say like,
Nice
what
or
of you are
something, yeah.
nice or something like that. But when we are like trying to implement photo mode, there's like this issue we are trying to solve, because photo mode can be used to kind of cheat when when you're trying to stealthily approach something. We didn't want you to like look around the corners, but we didn't want to limit the photo mode too much. So what we did is that when the photo mode ends, Henry will comment, and that little saying of his is actually heard by people in the world. So when you're like really trying to, approach somebody in a stealth and you'll cheat in this way, when Henry says nice or what of you, the guards will say, what? What was that? And they'll look at you and go and search that place.
I think that is such a tiny detail, but still, I think KCD is all about the details, and this is like so nerdy and so cool. Really. So when you end the photo mode, Henry barks something, and the others will hear it, so you cannot use it for.
And actually, very similar thing, but when you're talking, as you are like making fun of our dirty Henry, now, when you're dirty, you actually smell. And when you're like in stealth, people can actually smell you. So when you're like trying to approach the guard to stealth kill him, he can actually smell you and turn around. He has like completely unique dialogues about that. He'll like turn around, he'll just try to sniff like, what the hell is that?
And I ask you, what the hell is that? Because this looks like a cave or something. And since we are in the Trotsky area, an area that is also called today the Bohemian Paradise, it's full of those sandstone formations, rocky mountains kinda, and they have little caves and valleys and canyons. And what can we expect there?
Well, a lot of that, a lot. In some of those, there's like a hidden stuff. So you can, if you explore. That's another thing I think is way better in KCD2. There's a lot of interesting things to like find in the world. It's in most of them there's some little story, even if it's just environmental storytelling. There's something, Henry will comment on something. There will be things to loot and stuff like that. So these are like especially good places to look for something. But be careful, because 15th century Bohemia, there was in a civil war, a lot of bandits, a lot of soldiers fleeing. So it is a dangerous place. So be prepared. And as you guys saw Toby when trying to fight, in KCD, every fight should be impactful. You shouldn't just blindly rush into like people, because it is dangerous. You are supposed to use all the tools you have, you can use. You are supposed to try to talk somebody out of fighting. You're supposed to try some potions. You are supposed to try to kill a few of them from stealth first. So be careful about it.
And since we were talking about smelling, is this perk still in there that if when you have flowers in your pocket or herbs that you smell actually good?
Yes. And there's also a lot of hidden perks. Actually, I don't think nettles, because nettles don't grow in this kind of biomes. But for example, a good hint to our players: if you pick a lot of nettles, there's a hidden perk that will permanently raise some of your stats a little bit, but it can help you at the beginning.
Well, it's not a hidden perk anymore.
It is not. It's hidden for most of the players. Yeah. Only the people on the stream know.
You qualified ones who were with us through this entire stream. You now have this super secret OP.
Something similar was in KCD1 actually, but there's way more. There's definitely more of these in KCD2. So explore, try things, try new things. We're really trying to reward players that are trying new things, trying new approaches. Yeah.
Okily dokily. So we will now go again, pick those flowers, and then address.
Maybe I think from there, there it is. You can see the Zhelev pub, which is I think the biggest pub in the region. It's pretty big. Also, some very interesting quests are there, so I definitely suggest going there. There's bathhouses also, so once again you can use baths there.
Bathhouses, everyone's favorite.
Yeah.
Can I slip from here?
You can't slip, but you can fall.
I will not try it.
And you can see, for example, on the left, there are some birds flying there.
Yeah,
I am not thinking
here.
this is intentional, but sometimes birds can like lead you to places.
So, you know what place we need to go now? Pick some flowers,
Yes.
because our best friend Hans is still in his last moments there, and we were just sightseeing. So we should not do that. Hop. And I will scare the deer. Go away, deer. And give me the sage.
Yes.
Purple flower.
Okie dokie.
Sage.
And the
Here we go.
chamomile, which is here.
That's it.
Now,
Chamomile.
okay, before we go back now,
I've got all the herbs
I
use.
will
So
do
back to Bajena on the
something.
double.
No, wait,
The
let
sooner
me,
Hans
let
gets
me
that remedy, the
get
better.
the autosave first, and then I will put on some armor, some slight one, and then we want to show you again about how the game plays differently and how stuff will change according to what you do and how you decide and which items you choose to wear and so on and so on.
Yes.
So let me just quickly initiate this.
What's that
Yes.
song?
There it is.
Now we go into the inventory, and I will take what I looted earlier from this wonderful gentleman, the dirty bastard. Dirty and naked bastard.
Maybe you can talk about outfits. It's a new thing.
Absolutely. So look on the right side. You see that everything is marked with a yellow shield right now in the inventory.
And there's a yellow sheet
And
below
there's
Henry.
a yellow sheet below Henry, because we can now actively change outfits like that. So you can have 3 pre-prepared outfits.
Yes.
That comes really handy. So I would recommend something like a, let's say, fighting outfit, a stealth outfit, and maybe a speech outfit or something like that. And you can pre-prepare those sets, and then with a click on a button in your inventory, when you're not in the middle of a combat,
Yeah.
then you need to have some safe place and some quiet place. Then you can like change the outfit. But you can pre-prepare, which I think is a quality of life improvement. Absolutely.
And there's a lot of them in the game,
Yeah.
because that's something we wanted to improve a lot. The game should be like now much smoother to play. You should be like way easier to learn. The depth is there. It's maybe even the game is maybe even deeper, including the combat. There's some like very advanced moves that weren't in KCD1. The depth is there, but it should be a little easier to get into it, a little easier to learn everything, a little more descriptive.
And I will now. We have the different outfit, of course, but also this belt that I'm wearing is a weapons belt. I call it a Batman belt, because you can put different weapons now on this belt and have a quick swapping system now that you can quicker and easier change weapon according to situation. So you can have, depending on your belt, you can have several, and yeah.
I don't think you have equipped the gambeson. I think you're still wearing the tunic. You can. I think you have it in an outfit, but yeah, this is the outfit you want.
Okay, there you go. So
And you can
just
actually see if you like you look on your right side, like a little right, and you can see if you go to the secondary stats, you can see now your intimidation is 10 actually. Change the outfit on the left. Yeah, in here. Yeah, and go back. And now you can see it lowered a lot, 6, because depth of the systems. When you're talking to somebody or when you're fighting somebody, when you are wearing a strong armor that's fully, blooded, completely covered in blood, you are more intimidating. And the same actually, even in dialogues or even in other systems, it same works against people. So for example, if you will loot somebody's armor before, for example, a fight in some quest, it will be easier to intimidate him because he will feel weaker, because he doesn't have his weapons, he doesn't have his armor. So all these systems are kind of working together to give you this kind of options, once again, or to immerse yourself in all those things you can actually do.
I will show you now something. I will keep the tunic, right? Because I want to show you something.
I think you're still pretty intimidating because you have the weapon and everything.
Okay.
If you want to show what I think you want to show,
Yeah.
go there naked.
Naked?
Yeah.
But with a
Or at least the
with
tunic.
a tunic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let me check. Intimidation. Yeah, that's nice. So at least we have the tunic. We need a weapon. But I will take my favorite weapon here, which is the axe that is lying here around. And I want to show you now something, guys. So, a little spoiler. First of all, I take this weapon. Remember earlier when we arrived here, let me equip this just in case things go south. when we arrived here earlier, they immediately attacked us because they saw the guy. If I'm not wearing a weapon right now, it's on my belt, as you can see, and now if we approach the situation, they will at least not attack us right away. He will say, hello.
Come here and tell me who you are, or I'll
Okay, Mikesh, let's talk peacefully.
Lord von Bergov sent us to find the renegades who ambushed some knights' company down by the pond yesterday. A couple of them fled and are hiding out here in the rocks. So tell me who you are.
I think the dude on the left has a trigger finger. He wants to kill us desperately.
He's like,
yeah,
about to
let
come.
me in. So, what do you guys want to say? 1 or 2? We are the messengers when we were ambushed, or you don't look like von Berghoff's men? 1 or 2? Tell me, 1 or 2? A lot of 2s, some 1s. Okay. So we call them out, okay? Good, let's do that.
You're from Lord von Bergov. You don't look like it.
Kurva! Watch your tongue with me,
The
boy.
international
When I
word
say
of
we're
peace.
from-
Definitely.
we're from fucking von
Everything
Bergov.
peaceful starts
Who
with.
else would
Yeah,
we
with
be
the K
from
word.
anyway?
Yeah.
You can talk to me or talk to Cold Steel. Who the hell are you? And what are you doing here?
So, remember so first of all, there's different options here. Messengers, that was something we saw earlier. You're looking, we can use our skill, we can lie, or we can try and intimidate them. So let's try and that
Yes.
for a second.
Do you think I'm a fool? I know a robber when I see one. There's been lots of you types in these parts recently, and the fellas from the village are well pissed off. So get lost and don't come back, or we'll
Get
take our
lost,
axes to
scum.
Well, that wouldn't be very nice. The thing is,
And another thing, and I think only KCD does that, when you fail something, there's a unique lines for all of them. So they actually say something instead of just a fail. And most of them are really funny. It's actually really good to really try. But now you're without a Gambason, so let's see, Toby, how well you can...
Oh, God.
Yeah, good one.
show your stuff.
Oh, that will be hard. That will be hard. There's 2 of them.
Yeah,
Oh,
and you're
oh.
dead. Yeah.
There I'm dead. That's very sad. However, let's try again. And let's try something different. Because earlier, when we looted the different armor types, right? And let me change that outfit again. Oh, they don't have it yet. We have the bloody stuff, the gambeson, the vagrant boots, and so on. And those are, especially because they are bloody, right? They are more intimidating.
Could something have happened?
And
that was
if
Ennis?
we go there now again, let's see that. And I mean, that is something that all RPGs kind of do, or many of them. But the point that we are trying to make, that will come, the revelation comes right after that scene. So let's put that weapon just in case.
Hey, you!
What's
what
up?
do you want? Lord von Bergov. A
Yep.
couple of them. So tell me who.
Yep. You don't
You're
look
from
like
Lord
von
von
Berghoff's man.
You can talk.
Exactly. And now, if we
Do you
say
think I'm a fool?
same thing,
I know a robber when I see one. There's been lots
And
of
we
you
look
types
like
in
a
these parts recently, and the fellas from the village are well
effing
pissed
killer
off.
full
So
of
get
blood.
lost and don't come back, or we'll take our axes to you.
Easy there. We're no robbers, we're just carrying out orders. We've had a look round here, so we can be on our way again.
And they're just free.
And goodbye, you scoundrels. So, now you think, okay, well, many RPGs do that, but
Yes. Actually, this is just, well, it's not a little thing. It's a kind of like a big deal. These 2 guys, they were not just random bandits. They actually have a role in later on in the story. They're not the main characters. If you kill them, you'll not like lock your quest or you'll progress. No, not at all. We don't want you to reload. But there's like these little consequences. So actually those guys, later on, you can actually befriend them and they can help you in some of the quests. They are, I think, they're like in 3 quests where you can meet them, where you can talk to them. At beginning, actually, they can make one quest a little harder, because they can recognize you. You'll try to get somewhere and they will recognize you. But later on, you can befriend them, and you will actually, have a lot of common in them with them.
And by the way, as Bokop said earlier, they have unique lines for almost everything. Did you see that he was just asking me, why the heck are you running around with a weapon in your hand? So I had my equipped weapon, and he was reacting to that. And again, that is what I'm trying to tell you all the time. The world is so reactive to you that it's really, immersiveness is extremely important for us. And now, if we tell him, listen, I'm Henry from Skalitz, that's the other option.
You really are trying to win at least one story, don't you?
Absolutely. Now
You feel ashamed a little bit with your combat skills.
They will call me the Butcher of Skalitz. Yeah. They will know who the heck I am.
And an escort would be good too.
Shit, how about that? I didn't expect you to fall for it so easily. We're not von Bergov's men, and we'll deal with him later. Like we did with you yesterday by the pond. But that's the least of your worries now. We'll take your Sir Hans with us. But we've no need of you. Farewell, Henry of Skalitz. This'll be quick, boy. This'll be quick, boy.
We'll win.
Yeah.
I believe in you. Please. Yes.
Oh, where's the other one? Oh no.
You still let him go to your back, man?
Yeah.
Still have a chance.
Rookie mistake.
Rookie mistake, yeah. But the dog can help you.
Yeah. Do it. Come on. For the camera. Nice.
Yeah, kill it. Yeah, that's more of your style.
And you thought I'm bad at fighting, but I'm actually good at acting. That's the part that you need
very
to know.
proficiently stabbed him in the back.
Absolutely. So first of all, Ma, I'm bleeding. Well, no, Božena, I'm bleeding.
You look a sight. It's a wonder you're standing on your feet. My word, they
I
worked
said
you over
the
good.
Butcher of Skalitz. It's mere scratch. Well,
You're dying there, man.
I mean, I still have HP, right?
Yeah, some.
It's nothing. A scratch or two. It's just a flesh wound.
Play the hero. I can't see much, but
This
I know
is
what a
actually,
battered fellow looks like.
this
Tell me.
line is also reactive. She
I'll
really
try
does
to
react to what your
better
HP is and how hurt you are.
go to the
So
trouble
she
of healing
see through you.
Just so you
She
don't
knows
die
you
on
survive just by a tiny bit.
I'm
of
still
HP.
convinced I'm an amazing actor.
Yeah. An amazing
Yeah.
fighter, obviously.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I run them. So they were fighting 3 times. So they lost a lot of stamina, and I was fresh for the last one. Yeah.
I reckon it was one of those who followed us yesterday.
Fly like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Exactly. Especially in the back. So, yeah, God be praised.
Heaven knows what they'd have done to her. So, I'd like to know why all this is happening. Your friend was talking in a delirium in the night, saying you was knights. But if
So
you
there's
two
a
are
lot of
knights, then
NVIDIA
I'm the
GeForce
Queen of
questions.
Sheba.
We don't have any info about these kind of things, so that is something I can't answer you yet, unfortunately. Also, PC specs, if you ask about them, those will be revealed by the end of the year. As I said earlier, or in the beginning of the stream, we are right now deep into optimizations and bug fixing. But I can already give you a little tiny information. We had a really breakthrough moment not long ago, which will be really good news for someone, which I'm not telling you yet. So, see you later.
Such a vague teaser.
Yeah, very vague. So, do we tell Božena the truth or not? What do you think, guys?
Is it safe to tell her?
I don't know.
Do you believe her?
I don't know. I mean, she patched us up, and she patched up.
She seems like to be a
Hans.
good person, but
I mean, everyone loves a good grandma. Look, everyone is saying one.
okay,
See?
yeah.
Can we kill? No. Okay, you deserve the truth, Božena. Tell me
Bow
everything.
to your ladyship. Sir Hans is the young lord of Leiper and Perkstein. I'm Henry of Skalitz, son of Sir Radzig Cobbler, and I'm his bodyguard. We were heading to Trusky to deliver a message from Sir Hanish of Leiper and Margrave Jobst to Lord von Bergov. But we were ambushed by bandits yesterday down by the pond, and you already know the rest. And as God is my witness, we're no bandits. I swear to you, I'm thankful to you for saving us. And I'm sorry it caused you trouble.
Well, You sound sincere, so I'll take your word for it. I hope I won't live to regret it.
You won't. I promise you.
Promises are made to be broken, but thank you for dealing with them. Except I have 2 fresh corpses in my yard.
Don't worry. I reckon I've still got a bit of strength left. I ought to be able to manage it before evening.
I'd be eternally grateful to you. But be careful while you're at it. You don't want to open that wound or strain yourself.
What about Sir Hans? How's he doing?
He's holding up, I'd say. I've
Kozlicek.
treated his wounds and I'll change his bandages shortly.
Mikesh
But
and
what he
Kozlicek.
needs
For
most
those who
now is
speak
that
Czech,
remedy.
they will have.
Have you got
They will
everything
know.
for
The
it?
rest, Google it.
Chamomile and sage, like you said.
Excellent. Now to brew the potion from them. I gave you 2 the last of my supply during the night. But fresh is best anyways. It's a shame my daughter Pavlena ain't back yet. She'd get it done in a jiffy. But we'll just have to manage without her. But you can do it too. It ain't nothing hard. My eyes are so bad, it'd take me all day. But at least I can tell you how to go about it.
And when she's talking about that her eyes are bad, you can actually see that she has like the eye illness that makes her see bad. It's like a custom made for her.
And we'll brew the remedy, right? So alchemy, of course, again,
Yeah.
back in the game.
But damn it, Tobit, clean yourself. Do you see how dirty you are?
Yeah. Yes.
I've been at the alchemist bench a few times, but it's been quite a while.
That's grand. More than I was hoping for. And not to worry, it'll all come back to you. I have a book here with the recipe, but it'll be better if I tell you. I know it
Can
by
see the
heart.
little shade in her eye, so this is
Yeah,
not a
yeah.
bug or something. This is like really
My word.
her having
Maybe
an
you
illness.
really are a noble
I love
soul.
how she
Take the
misses
book
that.
just in case.
Yeah, that's another
That
thing we did.
front
We have
tooth.
like a different
Give us
teeth
advice.
for different
Would be
people.
great.
So we,
Of course.
a lot of times in
Everything we
games,
need
even
is
when there are
in the
Middle
hut.
Ages, everybody has a
Let's get
perfect
to
teeth.
it.
Not in our game.
But on the contrary, there's a very common misconception
True.
that everyone has black teeth, everything is falling
it's not
out,
true.
and like, that's absolutely
Because sugar wasn't
exactly
that consumed back
exactly,
then. So
exactly.
they actually had, even overall, the hygiene and teeth and everything was pretty good in Middle Ages.
Exactly. So absolutely. So let's blame modern food industry. So exactly the sugar is they didn't had the sugary diets, so
Yes.
they were mainly meat or natural stuff. So there's really not much they can. Well, unless you get an axe in your face, but then you have other problems, I guess.
Yeah.
So should I check on Kozlicek and
Sure.
I will not pick
Make
them
it-
up.
You can use the compare. That's another thing that we did. If you
Oh, look,
press
here's a
Y.
pretzel. And
Oh.
if Sexy Biscuit Roxy is watching, the pretzel is for you. So, she hates the pretzels. So, doors and a key chest. Interesting.
It might be useful later on.
Let's take everything. Taylor's kit.
You can actually, where we were teasing at the beginning, you can actually fix some of your clothes.
Let's check that out. So, it is in the
Other. Yeah.
And here we have the Taylor's kit. Let's take this one, for instance.
Yeah, any of them.
Yeah, use it. And this is now like a quick way.
Yeah, you're
how to-
choosing which type of clothing you want to repair.
Now, you might say, hey, Toby and Procker, wait a moment. How can you, with one tailor kit, repair all the items you have? Well, there's an answer.
Yeah, actually, every tailor kit has like the condition, which is like what you see under the little part there. And based on the price of the things you are repairing, it kind of lowers the condition of the tailor's kit. So if you're trying to repair like way more fancy things, way more fancy clothing, it will take more of your repair kits.
And I think that's absolutely fair. I think, again, that is how to balance it out a little bit
Yeah,
so that you
yeah,
cannot repair your own stuff all the time. So the super heavy, super valuable stuff you either repair with a lot of these kits or you go to the city and get it
And
done.
there's also associated skill. So if you are better at that skill, for example, it will be like easier for you to repair things. You will lose less of your repair kits. But also there are specific perks in that skill that will, for example, make the things better if you repair them. Like you can pet them to make them more stealthy or do some other stuff with them.
I took the bone comb because I have a very wonderful beard in real life, and that needs to be combed sometimes.
Obviously.
But back to business. Hello, Bojana. How close can I get to you? Okay, too close. Let's check out her wonderful, beautiful alchemy hut. And you know, that is something. So we get very often the question between realism and gameplay. And it's really important to mention that in the first place, we are absolutely working on a video game.
Yes.
First and foremost, right? The realism part is something that we use to flavor everything. That is the tools, the work, the kit that we are using to build everything, to craft everything. But realism can never stand in the way of fun gameplay. So we need to find a balance. And that's like a daily struggle we have.
Yes.
And the alchemy, for instance, the potions are somewhat funny, of course, sometimes. However, still, what we can see here in the book, for instance, these things are actually based on real herbalism that was used in the Middle Ages, right?
If you know, maybe even some of your grandmothers might used a chamomile decoction it really helps with healing, for example. For example, you can see this is like completely new art, and all those herbs actually exist. And if it says it grows in roadside stitches, in clearings, and where there is relief from the sun, and it grows there in real life. If you learn from our game where the herbs grow, you can actually find them in the real world as well.
Exactly. And if it says it's poisonous, then don't try them in real life.
Don't eat it.
Someone was asking if we can carry the book around. No, the books are always put here, but...
Actually, if you can't do now because you're in the tutorial, but now, yes, in KCD2, when you're leaving Henry actually take the book with himself, but later on, I think, I'm not sure if you can go there from the tutorial, but in your codex, every description of any herb or of any potion is described in your codex. So you can always know what you need for specific potions. You can always check whether it's worthy to pick these herbs and stuff like that.
Okay. So back to brewing.
Yes.
Chamomile decoction. Sleep heals you faster, and if good quality, energy replenishes faster while sleeping. Of course. You will need wine, 2 handfuls of chamomile, and a handful of sage. Add the chamomile and boil for 1 turn. Grind the sage and add it to the cauldron, and finally pour. And we can see also a little wonderful picture there on the right.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Correct. To the table. So, first, wine.
First, you have to
So
pour the
spirit,
right
no.
base into the cauldron. Choose
Oil,
the right
no.
pitcher from the shelf
Wine,
right
yes.
and
What
left.
was the last one? Water. No, we take the wine. So we are actually cooking mulled wine here for a little. It's almost Christmas, guys, right? 1 month to go, so a little mulled wine.
Wine, of course. Like it says in the book.
Let's do that.
Glad to hear
Yeah.
it.
And maybe,
Now try moving
many of you who played KCD1 know about it, but in this minigame, it shows our approach to everything. As Toby was saying, immersion is so important to us that even when you're in some minigames, we're really trying to avoid UI-based minigames. We really want to have everything in the game. We really want you to be able to touch everything. So, yeah, you can see. Can we
Sometimes you need
briefly mention the other big minigame?
to get the fire.
Well, I think the chat would love to hear about the blacksmithing.
Yes.
But, guys, we will not show it to you yet. That's quite a big thing. But let's see how much Prokop will actually spoil at this moment.
Yeah, I won't spoil much, but I'll say there's another really big minigame in our game, and it's kinda similar to Alchemy in a way that you can actually see everything, you can touch everything, you can really, it depends on your skill, not only on Henry's skill, but that as well, there's associated skill actually, but also on player's skill, just like the Alchemy.
So it's very, again, sophisticated, deep. You have to do stuff in order to get stuff. Someone might say, wait a moment, that's tedious. But again, on one hand, it is we try to immerse you into the world, and B, at least for the alchemy, you know, guys, when you do it, when you brew the potions a little bit, when you level up the skill, you can then auto brew some of the stuff, right?
Some. And it's also kind of smoother. We really try to polish the alchemy as well, so all the animations are a little faster. You can make something even faster. And also the potions are way more useful in KCD2 because just like you had that belt for weapons, you actually can have a pouch, which is like a real item which you can equip, and it can have slots for consumable items. So now, well, if you have some time, you can even consume potions in combat, and it can get really handy.
I remember the quest with Black, the tournament from Ratai in KCD1, where Black Pete, the cheater, where he was actually covering his blade, his sword in poison.
Yes.
And little
The Bane
spoiler,
poison, the strongest one.
Exactly, and little spoiler for KCD1, that's one of the reasons why he always won the tournament. Cheating guy. Okay, so we have this wonderful mulled wine now.
It will save, well, maybe it will save Capen, so it's important.
Absolutely. Let's take it. One thing I would like to mention as well, because we talked about it briefly, the alchemy system, and that is something, the saving system, that still works with those potions. I think it's very important to mention you brew a potion.
Finish, and I'll talk about the potions a little bit more.
Okay, what is really important that we learned from KCD1, so I know that some of you didn't like the system because in KCD1, in the beginning, when you needed the saving potion most, right, when the game was hard, when you didn't know what to do, it was hardest to come by. It was hard to find, it was hard to buy, you couldn't brew it yet, and that is something that from what we learned, so KCD2 will have not only more autosaves at crucial points, but the saving potion will be easier to come by, which is good for you, but we still want you to have this tiny little investment of using a potion.
Sure. I'll do the
I'll
best I
just
can.
let them finish
When
the
you're done
talking.
with that, go get some sleep. You won't miss anything, and you need the rest after everything that happened.
What I wanted to show you is that you actually did now, when you're brewing potions, there's like different qualities of potions. So it's much harder to fail completely. But if you're really good at it, if you have a real good skill and if you're doing it skillfully, you can do really good like qualities of potions, which can have additional benefits. That's also a perk that will unlock a completely new like level of potions, and these potions are really strong.
So, Bojana wants us to hide those guys. I can tell you that it's again a role-playing thing, so we don't have to do this necessarily. Do you guys want me to bury those people before we continue, or do you say let's let them rot? But on the other hand, I mean, Bojana was kind of nice to us. I mean, we could clean up. You know what? I'll do it. Come on, it's just Bojana saved our life. She's saving Hans's life. So let's get rid of those. Look, the pig. This callous pig was watching us kill the guys. Maybe that's a druid. That
In our game,
I played too much Baldur's Gate. So
you're not the only one.
everyone did. Such a great game. Which leads me to another question, by the way. So since we were talking about designing and so on, and you are with the game, with the team very long, and the team is quite big, where do you draw your inspiration from generally when you come up with? I mean, yes, it's based on real history, so I guess you take it from history. But like, what do you do to come up with quests?
Yeah, as I was saying at the beginning, the design team is really like, there's a lot of people that really love RPGs, new ones, and even the old ones. And we really like, so there's a lot of inspiration from that, where we really like the freedom of choice, I would say. We really like that. But also, there's like this combination of people that love games and also really, really love history. So we really read old books. We really read like research papers, like proper studying, proper research, and we take a little inspirations from there, from other games, from other media, and we're really trying to. Maybe another thing I would like to say is that we really honor players' time.
Oh yeah.
So every quest, even the tiniest quest in KCD2, is unique. There will be never any fetch quest. Never a quest that will tell you, listen guy, bring me 5 wolves' hides. Never. Every quest has a little story, new character, something unique. So the KCD2 is a very long game, but we really respect players' time. There's never something that will just prolong the game unnecessary.
Unless you want to, like burying those corpses.
Yeah, there are things you can spend infinite time, doing potions or, hunting in the woods, and many people actually do. But the content prepared for the players is always unique.
Good sleep will make a new man.
So I would like to take care of that other corpse, but it's gone. No. But doesn't matter, we go to sleep.
Yeah, let's go sleep.
And they will magically vanish, like they did right now. Sleep and save. But till when?
Till the morning. Because this.
A sword such as this will bring honor to its bearer.
True, Sir Radzik. If I'd have had its like back in Nicopolis, things would have worked out differently.
Where's my fucking sword?
And I found it. Everything I take now will be mine, and I plan to take everything.
Rot in hell!
Why would I miss one sword?
Because it's the last one my father forged, and I promised him I'd deliver it to you.
The stronger dog fucks the bitches, and war is a nasty business.
Where's my fucking sword?
You know what? I think I'll keep it. As a memento.
This isn't over. I'll find you!
Yeah!
Don't disappoint me.
Wake up, Henry. It's past sunrise.
Hallelujah. I thought you'd never wake. Were you having a nightmare?
Bad dreams. You must be Pavlena, right?
That's right. I came in the evening while you were asleep. Ma told me what happened to you. Then I helped Ma take care of your friend that night?
Hans? He's alive. How is he?
Have no fear. He's alive, all right. Maybe too alive. Ma knows what she's doing, and that's the truth. I reckon she could bring the dead back to life. She said she dosed you with the strongest remedies she knows, and it looks like they did the trick. On that other fella for sure. Since he came to this morning, he hasn't stopped talking.
Yeah, that sounds like him, all right.
And what about you? How do you feel?
Definitely better than yesterday. Thanks.
That's good. Ma will be glad, but I heard you yelling in your sleep and went to check on you. Bad dreams?
I dreamt of Istvan Toth, a villainous, murderous whoreson who stole my sword. The last memento I had of my father, and I swore to get that sword back and avenge my parents.
Oh, that oath must be serious if it even torments you in your sleep. Dreams shouldn't be taken lightly. They can have real meaning, however hard they are to understand. What strikes you as the most important part of your dream?
Okay, guys, what do you want? 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5? You dirty, dirty, dirty guys.
I dreamt of terrible things. Flames, violence, war. And then the glittering silver and scallops turned into the surface of a lake. And from the lake emerged a naked, supernaturally beautiful girl. She took me into her arms and carried me away from everything to her own island. And there, she saved my life.
Well now, that probably means you're lonely and seeking company. Fortunately, you can join ours.
Well, she
Breakfast
knows.
is on the table, and I've got something else for you too. Come along, and we must save Ma from the clutches of his lordship.
Okay. And back.
Here
again.
we are.
Up. Can I eat? Of course.
Yeah, you can.
You have to.
They did a fresh batch.
Absolutely. Give me more goulash or stew or whatever you want to call that. What is that food actually? That's like one of the. It looks a lot like chili con carne, which
it's
strongly
not chili con
believe
carne.
it's not chili con carne.
Well, it's actually like a little historical fact. They're usually, they kind of used any food that they had in their houses, and they kind of brew this like a thing.
This non-stop stew, right?
And in taverns, they actually had something on the stove all the time, and they only added new food, and it was always boiling, so it never got bad. Mm-hmm. And they just completely kept eating and eating from that.
And you know where you can read information like that? Well,
in our codex.
In the codex, right?
Yeah, I think it's really beautiful. There's like you can learn about history. If that's your thing, you can learn about history in here. Even like a little facts. It unlocks throughout the game, so it doesn't front load all the information at the beginning. For example, when you first go to the smithy, there'll be a new codex unlocked. You can learn about it, and you can learn about the characters. Handscape is first. There's always, well, not always, but there's usually a really good art associated with that. And, as we were saying, Handscape, your friend, is a real historical figure. Otto von Berghoff, the guy you're trying to deliver the message to. Another real historical figure.
Daniel Vavra.
Yes, Sir Hanush of Leipa, yeah.
Sir Hanush of Leipa. And the nemesis.
Yeah, Marquard
von Aulitz.
Yes, yes. And you can learn about society, about crafts, about everything. And in the end of the game, there'll be a huge, a list of things you can learn about. It's the abduction of Wenceslas, the rightful king.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. The burning of Skalitz, right?
Yeah. The thing that started it all. And also on the left side, if you go to the left, when on the chat they were asking whether when you go to the herbs,
hop,
and now to the herbs.
Okay, sorry.
You have basically everything you need for the alchemy. You have it here, so you can learn. You can see how many of every herb you have in your inventory, so you can quickly check what you have, what you need to do. There's always a little description that tells you where it grows. Yeah, useful information.
Absolutely. Burning of Skalitz. This is, guys, where everything started.
Yeah.
February 13th, I think, 2018.
Yes, exactly.
That is where everything started. Thanks for the guys that were supporting us from day one, pretty much. Which has started way earlier in Kickstarter, but this is where KCD1 started. At least.
Yeah, but honestly, really, we are deeply thankful. It was like a long shot to make KCD, and we did it. And you guys really, you did like the game, and that's the only thing that enabled us to do this KCD2.
Absolutely. So let's go outside.
You can see this is a different time of day. So the lightning is a little different, the fog is a little different.
There's one less chicken than before.
Yeah. Evil Toby.
And there's our...
And Handscape is alive.
Hooray!
Henry! Come and join us!
It's your murder!
Yeah. I think she saw the dead body or the dead chicken. Yeah.
Maybe a bit of both. But anyway, this is the point where our little story ends for today. So if you have any questions, if you want to know anything, if there's anything that is stayed unanswered, now is the time to ask, and we will try and accommodate where we can.
Yeah, if you have any questions, we can briefly talk about it. Wolf in the forests. Yes, there are wolves in the forests, and they are dangerous. Yes.
Another spoiler, new information.
It's just a little thing. I think you should.
Good morning, Henry.
Yeah, this is like the conversation at the.
No idea how glad I am to see you.
Aren't bugs a wonderful thing? But don't worry, as I said, we are neck deep into bug fixing and so on. And this is again, as I said in the beginning, that's an earlier build, an older build, I mean, so probably fixed already at this point. However, this is one of the few recap dialogues we can see here.
And for that, I am in your debt.
Let's enjoy our wonderful best friend, Hans Capen.
Another question here. Is it possible to pass game as pacifist? Well, we really want you to give all the options. So most of the situations is you are able to, go without any fighting. You can, influence what's happening. You can avoid most of the fights. But there are some very unique story moments, big battles, which are awesome, by the way. I'm really looking forward when we could show that to you, where you have to fight. But even in those situations, you usually can influence how hard the fight is. For example, if you didn't kill Mikesh and Kozlik, they will help you in some of the battles.
Again, see? It's the little things, it's the little choices that can have a big impact on the game. And everyone is saying one, you want to really throw Hans Capen under the bus here. But you have to understand the situation that's going on here. With this kind of system of the dialogues where you can answer something, obviously someone who never played KCD1 before will not know that. So there's this kind of, this is kind of a way where we are trying to either give you the chance to say, yeah, I know how these things happened, and the dialogues and the situations might change according to that, or you can learn what actually happened back in the times.
Well,
so yeah,
there was this time when me and Hans had some fisticuffs in the tavern, and for punishment, I had to accompany him on the hunt.
And I shot a boar.
And made it mad.
Well, he didn't.
When Hans chased after me.
Well, he tried.
By a Cuban patrol.
But as we all learned, boars are being hunted with spears.
Yeah, and you can now use spears or long weapons.
Mercenaries from
Hungary.
Yeah. And basically this is like another thing where, if you saw earlier, you could have cut the story short. But this is like the optional thing. If you, for example, didn't play KCD1, or if you just forget what happened, you can delve deep in these dialogues. You don't have to, you can skip them, and it's fine. It's not something that will like haunt you later. The story progress is just fine. But if you really want to know more, if you're interested in the lore, you can delve deep.
Shoot your questions, guys. We will end this stream shortly. We are getting closer and closer to the end.
How did it end up with young Sir Hans?
Transparency. Is there transparency option for the UI? Nope, not at this point. This is what you get, and if we do something in future, well, then we tell you in the future.
There were two.
That just proves how well you can count. Besides, they were armed to the teeth and had bows and armor. It might as well have been 10.
Whatever. Anyway, with a bit of luck, I managed to free Sir Hans.
Why the modesty? You got them. Maybe a stroke of luck, but as we know, al dentes.
Fortuna juvat.
See now, you've finally learned it.
What?
It's just this kind of motto of ours. Fortune favors the bold.
Maybe they're really telling the truth about who they are. Who but a lord or a priest could know Latin? And priests they ain't. I can tell.
And as I recall, you already got a pony from Uncle Hanush as a reward for saving me. Your pebbles. So I'll save myself a few groschen.
But you never gave me anything for Talmberg.
For Talmberg? What was that about then?
Yeah, and actually there was a question in chat as well. Pebbles, your first horse in KCD1. Yes, he is in KCD2. He's a little hidden, so you need to find him. And there's also a way to make him better. It's hidden as well. But yes, if you loved Pebbles, you can actually use him, and he can be really good in KCD2.
I like how you call everything hidden, but say it to the millions of people that are watching.
I didn't say how to achieve that, so it's still, the
I love
mystery
it.
about
Dude,
that.
if there's one thing that is common about me, then I love to spill the beans. So be my guest.
I'm a little bit more careful
Be
than
my
you in
guest.
this.
Be my guest.
It's like a little teaser that there are things to be found, and we always try to reward your curiosity. We really respect your time, as I was saying, but also your intelligence. If you try new things, if you try different approaches, the game will reward you.
And people were asking about Mutt. That's a secret. You will see it then in the game. Mutt, of course, we saw him in the trailer already, so Mutt is existing, but where is he right now? You will see.
The foe took the castle by subterfuge, and we planned a counterattack.
Under the cloak of darkness, we scaled the mighty walls of Tarnberg Castle to get inside and open the portcullis to our brothers in arms who were poised and ready to attack.
And we almost succeeded. Only, along the way, Sir Hans here took an arrow to his noble seat.
Seat? He got shot in the backside.
My upper thigh, actually.
Backside it was. But that's no joke either. It's not easy to run with an arrow stuck in your arse. If I hadn't carried him...
I admit it, you saved my arse.
Well, now, you two have been through a thing or two. As far as I can tell, it really was his backside and not his thigh. I examined Hans and saw the scar for myself. But I reckon you paid off part of your debt the other day, sir.
How did you beat that cutthroat? I don't know. How did you beat that cutthroat?
True enough. Hey, how did you manage to get the best of that cutthroat the other night when you hauled me here?
To be honest, by a stroke of luck. We were fighting outside, but that fucker got a hold of his falcon and let me have it in the guts. I thought I was done for, but I groped around and found a pail and whacked him with it with the last of my strength. And luckily, I hit him a nice crack right on the noggin. Can't remember a thing after that.
My word. Fortune really does favour you. You chose your motto well.
Once we get back to Ratai, I'll have it inscribed on my shield.
Do tell. What else did the two of you encounter?
Quite a lot of things, but I'm afraid we don't have much time for storytelling right now. We came here on an important mission, and we cannot afford to dally any longer. We have to get to Trotsky as soon as we can. How far is it from here?
Not far. Once you climb the hill above Zhelioth, you'll see the castle.
All right. I think we should get on our way as soon as possible.
I'll prepare a bit of food for you, for your journey.
Oh, Bozhena, I don't know how to thank you for all this.
Ah, but I do. Once we've settled our business with von Bergov, I shall reward you as befits a knight. You have my word of honor.
Now you've got me curious. I never got a knight's word before.
For a start, you can leave me that spade. We can't manage without it.
Yes, of course. And thanks for everything you've done, Bozhena.
I have something for you, Henry. Ma had trouble because of you, but I know you didn't do it on purpose, and you protected her when she needed it. I want to thank you for that. Take this potion. It will help when you're in danger or don't know which way to turn. Have a little sip each time, and it'll save you a lot of trouble. You'll see. It's not all that hard to brew. With a bit of practice, you could manage it yourself.
Thanks, Pavlena. This'll come in handy.
No doubt. But we'd better get going now.
Hans is right.
As I told you guys, we are getting closer and closer to the end, and I think that is where the end should start. So after this dialogue, again, the two will travel the world, but that is something you will see on February 11th, 2025. So yeah, that is something for you to discover. As I said, shoot your questions. Prokop has something prepared. He read already the chat.
Yeah, there are some questions that I can answer, I think. One was about different endings of the game. I will not spoil anything, don't worry. But yes, there are different endings, and as I said, I don't want to spoil anything, but I'd said like a motto when we were writing the story is that the KCD-1 was from a young boy to a man. It was like a journey to manhood. And now it's a journey from man to warrior. And the very important distinction is not to hero, and that has something to do with the endings.
Henry will never become a hero. Henry is our boy Henry, regular fellow kinda from Skalitz who lost everything, who got torn into or dragged into a very terrible situation, civil war, things are going up and down. And as we saw in the trailers or heard in the trailers, war is a nasty business, and he unfortunately have to see this with his own eyes, and it will change him absolutely the way he is. As I said, KCD-1, as you said, he starts really as this bloke who barely can,
just a village bloke
who barely can hold a sword, and now he is part of a entourage that is supposed to carry a letter asking for this noble if he's on our side or the side of the attacker. So it's really, he gets pushed into this real big stage.
The events in KCD2 are like way more important for the region and for the events. He will never be the main driving force because he's still our Henry. He's the relatable guy. He's in new situations. He's trying to orient himself. Everything is new for him, just as for the player. This connection when both Henry, both the hero, and both the player kind of are discovering things at the same pace. We feel it makes this great connection. And maybe another question was in the chat. It was about Master Strikes, and I don't want to delve into combat 2D because I think that could be like a separate, maybe some event or stream or video or anything. But just this little thing, the combat is heavily improved. And especially in KCD-1, Master Strike could have been really abused. It was too strong. So we are well aware of this. We read through all of the feedback about most of the things. So the Master Strike still is in KCD2, but it is way harder to do actually. So it's way riskier and way harder. So we really want to emphasize like a very aggressive gameplay. We don't want you to just wait to block everything and win every combat.
Well, I'm more defensive guy. I mean, I enjoy a lot when fighting. I enjoy a lot this back and forth. And there I saw a question about the Master Strikes. I'm a person that is trying to be more, let's say, read the situations. So I see the enemy attacking, I perform the Master Strikes or a good block. Perfect blocks, sorry. And then counter-attack somehow. So that is how I usually try and win. But even that was improved. So really, generally, it really matters on where the enemy is having his sword, right? If you attack his sword or his weapon side, he will have an easier time to block everything. If you're attacking the counter sword side, then he will have a easier time to perform like counter combos and so on. So it's a really fly like a butterfly, sting like a bee, like Muhammad Ali always.
Even in our offices, there's like multiple ways. People like enjoy different approaches to combat. Somebody is like really this kind of swordsman like Toby that doesn't really do anything too fancy. You really just like
Excuse me?
Yeah. We saw it, Toby. We saw it in the combo with the bandits.
Again, I'm a great actor. I pretended that I have no chance, but...
Yeah, some people really like to, use ranged weapons. Some people really like to use combos. Some people like to switch weapons in the middle of the combat to just, do different type of changes and use the combos from different weapon types. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of depth in KCD2. It's easier to learn, but the depth is there.
The debt is also there. For me. Yeah. But the debt was not there. Well, different story.
Yeah.
So, anything else? Can you put the hood up? Well, you can definitely, with a push on a button, you can raise and lower your visor this time.
Yes.
So
It's actually now a mechanic. In KCD1, it was like automatic. When you like drew your sword, and if you had a helmet that had this visor, it automatically lowered. Now there's a special button to it. So if you prefer to see more, you can do that, but you are vulnerable in your face. And be careful, because more skilled opponents will actually target your uncovered parts. Be careful with that.
So cover your parts.
Yes.
Okay, what else is there? Okay, so many questions.
Yeah, the chat is crazy.
Frame generation. Yeah, there will be some. That's like a technical question. Yeah, there will be some support of that. Does the game pause while in the menus?
Yes.
Of course. You can even pause cutscenes, which is important for, I don't know who, but for someone who needs to go to the toilet in the middle of a cutscene. Who would do that? But yeah. Mounted combat. Of course, there was also already mounted combat in KCD1. Of course, relatively low-key, kinda, but generally everything you know from KCD1 was transferred into KCD2 and tried to be improved on. However, this game is still not focusing on mounted combat. So it's in there, you saw it in the trailers, you can shoot your bow from the horse, for instance.
But it's a little interesting thing. There's like new ranged weapons. We already showed them. So there are crossbows and early medieval guns. And even for the crossbows, there's like multiple types of crossbows. And the heavier ones could, on the first glance, seem like the best choice because they have the best damage. But they're slower to reload, and on horseback you can't reload some of those. Only on light crossbow you can reload on horseback.
Because if you ever saw this heavy crossbow, you need to have this lever there and then put it. So that is of course not possible. So a question about German voice actors, that is something that our publisher is dealing with. I know that they are trying to match the voice actors from KCD1, which makes a lot of sense, and I guess they will do that. But unfortunately, some of the voice actors died, unfortunately, so there have to be some changes, of course. But other than that, I think we're trying generally for parity in those.
Definitely.
I mean, it makes sense for you as well. Is there a demo? No, but if you catch me somewhere flying around the world, then you can play the demo. We are actually this weekend, for the Czech people and maybe Germans if they want to travel over. This weekend we will be at MCR, which is like the championship of video games here in the Czech Republic. They're actually playing Counter-Strike for most of the time, but we'll have a tiny booth there where we will show Kingdom Come Deliverance in Czech language. So if you
for the first one,
for the first time ever, so you will see the Czech voiceovers. But I guess that's only interesting for the Czech guys out there. Okie dokie. I think that was a very interesting, very good stream. I think I didn't promise you enough when I said we are going on a hike together. It was a lot of walking, talking, and watching, but I hope you guys loved and enjoyed the scenery with us. Thank you very much, Prokop, for being with me, with sharing all those interesting information. Thank you for always saying something is a secret and then saying it to the camera. I hope you like it. Stay vigilant, guys. Follow us on social media /Kingdom Come RPG on most of the social medias. Again, if you want the collector's edition, which is down there below my armpit, you will not get the armpit collector's edition. You get the fresh one. If you're in the United States, then you can still get it on GameStop. So go there and check it out and get it for you. Unfortunately, well, good for us. They are sold out pretty much everywhere in the world. Bad for you. Don't go to, how do you call it, scalpers?
Yeah.
Don't do that for the sake of your health and our health. I mean, please don't. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's your choice. And scalpers, don't be scalpers. And I think that's everything. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being with us. Stay medieval, everyone. Audentis fortuna juvat. Fortune favors the brave.
Yes.
Take care. Be good.
Bye.
See you on the other side.